So I saw this device on, I believe, the emulation on Android subreddit. It looked pretty interesting. On Amazon, it's called the Bounabay Wireless Telescopic Bluetooth Controller. You couldn't make up a more generic name if you tried, but I guess it's actually known as the Wii. At least when you connect to it via Bluetooth, it's called 5G Wii. Not sure if I pronounced it right, but it looked right to me. And this is it. It reminds me a lot of the iPega controller in the way that you sort of do that. It's telescopic, obviously. Very similar mechanism. A little flexible, but not too bad. Really, it reminds me a lot of the PS Vita, especially these grips, I suppose, concave spots where you put your fingers, and the shoulder buttons they require a lot of deliberacy. When you push it down, you kind of have to really think about it, but the clicking is very satisfying, and they're really comfortable to actually use. Buttons nice and clicky. Sticks, they're okay. You can't push them down. They don't count as like R3, L3. They're not buttons. They're a little wobbly. Not that bad though to use, honestly. I've used far worse. The PS Vita, frankly, is a lot worse. They're a bit larger and they're a little bit taller, so you have a decent amount to give to them. If you have to use these a lot, you might not like these. I think they're just okay though, for occasional use. Not that bad. D-pad, really good. Not as clicky as these, but that's fine. I mean, it's easier to use that way anyway. Start and select. And this is the actual syncing button. So, before we get into that, let's take a look at what you get with it. They package it up in this really kind of nice bubble wrap, weird sort of foil thing. Really nice, actually. Tightly. But this is what you get: the literature and accessories and so forth. Comes with this felt container or case for some reason. And it has a lot of literature in a language I don't quite understand. So, I can't read any of this. It's a shame because it seems like they really put a lot of effort into it. Included this Mega Man inspired character. Interesting. Has these pads, which are adhesive sticks, and actually in the English manual, which is a lot lighter, printed out of different material, curiously, in the English literature, they seem to. The idea behind this is that for buttons that have, or for phones that have buttons on top of the device, you use these pads to sort of create a gap, so that way you can use the phone with this device horizontally or in landscape. So that's pretty nice. I thought about that. But also includes this device. In the English manual, describes it as a charging device, even though it's not that. I mean, you could probably use the charge device, I'm sure, but I don't know what it actually is for. Clearly there's some kind of hardware going on there. And comes with this, which appears to go into detail as to what this actually does. I mean, I can't read it at all, so maybe someone who can read this language can elaborate in the comments. That'd be fantastic. Also comes with a really nice flat USB cable for charging. I quite like it a lot. And more literature that I cannot read at all. I guess it's maybe games they can use with it or something. I have no idea. But the device itself, I paired it by accident actually. You just press this button once and it starts blinking as a typical Bluetooth device would. Then you connect it with your phone. Once it's connected, it just stays blue and it'll disconnect after it's been on for so long. Really, connecting it to your device is actually super easy. And even when it goes off by itself, all I have to do is press a button and it's connected back to your device on by Bluetooth within just seconds of it happening. So that's pretty neat. It's really convenient to use. My phone is a Galaxy S7 Edge. I'll show a video of it fitting in here shortly. Without a case on it, it barely fits in portrait. You can do it for sure. Like it won't, like if you do it like that, it won't fall out, but it will wobble a little bit. It's really actually quite comfortable to use this way, especially for Nintendo DS games. This controller is ridiculously comfortable for portrait and also landscape. But I think I might use it for DS games from now on because it's really comfortable actually. And of course, you know, you can do it like this. The phone without the case barely fits on this. With the case it kind of can, but it doesn't really fit very well. So if you have a bigger phone than the S7 Edge, you might have a problem doing it with the landscape, but portrait's just fine. Alright, let's get to showing you what it actually is like with the device in it. So here is the device with my S7 Edge with the case on it. Pairing is pretty easily. Well, repairing it anyway. So there's the controller, as you can see, hit the button, and it's already connected. So just pop it in. Fits a lot better with the case on. Not gonna fall out on you at least. Interestingly, they really intended you to use it, not just landscape, but also in portrait, because it has these little divots in here, so the phone can rest on that, whereas this part itself doesn't have those. So they really thought of a lot of how people would play with this when they designed the device, which is pretty cool. So as you can see, pretty easy to use. I actually much prefer this over the iPega. A lot more comfortable, easier to grab the touchscreen with, more close to the phone. And just the contour that's really nice to hold in your hand. Of course, it also fits in landscape. It doesn't fit very well with the case on. Fits a lot better without it, but it will work. I can't use headphones with this thing on, not practically anyway. So you're better off using Bluetooth if you have that, or if for some reason your phone has a headphone jack on the side of it. But you can do it. Maybe probably better with a small device to use on landscape, but it does feel quite a bit like a PS Vita, really. Just everything about it screams that. Only complaints about how it's held is that the D-pad's kind of out of the way a little bit, so it does take some effort to use. And the right stick is a little bit too close to the A button, so you can feel your finger on it, but you won't accidentally move it anywhere. But overall, it's pretty good. I do like it a lot. Like I said, the shoulders you have to be very deliberate, but they're really nice. They feel very sturdy, and I love the clicking with them. Just amazingly satisfying clicks.